So today we're making onion powder, homemade onion powder. So the first thing you do is peel the onions, clean them up, and start chopping. And this is about the size we chop them to, because then we put them in the food processor to chop them up even smaller. Give them a rinse. And here they are prepared in the food processor. We chop them up so that they'll be smaller, so that they will dehydrate and dry out quicker. And pulse away. This is more or less the texture that we go for, and we find that we can dehydrate them in a fairly quick amount of time. So in this case, as you put your onion choppings on the dehydrator trays, you're going to need the dehydrator tray sheets, so that this way they don't fall through the cracks and the holes. Once you have all of your trays full with the onion chops, you are ready for the dehydrator. Something to note as you're doing the trays, you want to spread out the onion chops so as to not create clumps, because the clumps can create a situation where there's less airflow and they won't dehydrate as well or as quick. So you definitely want to thinly layer it on your tray sheets. All right, so we're going to set for 130. And we're going to set for 12 hours to start. We think it's going to take longer than 12. But we're going to start with 12 and then we'll be checking. And this is how it looks like after 12 hours. And it did take 12 hours to get this to be like this. And just to kind of give you a sense of how it looks and or feels, that's how it turns out. And now we're going to pulverize it in the Ninja Bullet. Then we spread the onion powder on a cookie sheet. We preheat the oven to 170 to 175. All right, so now we've hit the temperature of 170. We're just gonna go ahead and shut it off and use the heat that's already in the oven to take out whatever little bit of moisture we do have, because it does sometimes take a little longer for the onion powder to dehydrate. You could always leave it in your machine a little bit longer, but we find that this is a good way to take out the last bit of humidity or moisture, so that this way it can be nice and dry going into your container. So as I mentioned, we did set the oven for 170, then shut it off and put the onion powder into the oven for about 2 to 3 hours, just to take that extra humidity that was still in the onion powder off before we put it in the Ninja one more time. And there you go, homemade onion powder. And another way to starve the beast.